I probably don't need to explain to you who exactly Kanye West is. If you clicked on this video, then you probably have seen the recent events that unfolded in this never-ending story of Kanye's controversies. But these sort of controversies go way back and extend throughout Ye's career. I'm certain though that if Kanye West finds a way to come back from this, then I think his controversies will continue. So that's why I thought it would be appropriate to talk about probably everything that has happened up until now, because we all know this is not going to be the last time. This man will take all his controversies to his grave and will probably still be controversial even after he passes away. Somehow he'll find a way. Some of these are pretty crazy, but if you've been around long enough and seen what happened recently, then you should know that.
Just saying, I don't like Nazis, and I don't like what some of the mafias are doing either.
I like Hitler.
Hi everyone, it's me in the distant future. Due to circumstances that were completely out of my control, I had to delay this video over and over again, and it just got me to the point where I was like, I haven't had enough progress and I wasn't able to get anything done like the way that I wanted it to. So I apologize for how short this video is technically in the span of the actual things that Kanye has been through. There's been a lot. So I decided, hey, I haven't uploaded in a long time. Maybe I should probably just do some like 3-parter. Maybe I'll just split it up into 3 parts. What does that mean? What does 3 parts mean for this whole entire explain video? Sorry, I'm used to icebergs. Well, the first video is going to compile everything that's been in the past and all this stuff. The second part will be stuff that's from further on a couple of years ago and just pile it all together because that information is much bigger and there's so much more to get through. So I just wanted to make those videos longer because part 2 is going to be probably our longest part. We don't know what's going to happen with Ye in the future. We have no idea, seriously. So like, it's just a safeguard for like a part 3 at some point. So with that being said, I hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you want to see a certain type of video, then leave a comment, DM me, or send me an email. I just want to say again, thank you so much for supporting me. Anyways, with that out of the way, subscribe for life. It all started here. Kanye had just released his first album called The College Dropout. People loved it, and it even won a Grammy. But Kanye wasn't satisfied. He reminded himself that he, in fact, is a god and deserves every award. So during the American Music Awards, Kanye stormed off the auditorium after losing the Best New Artist of that year to Gretchen Wilson, a very popular country singer. He did not seem very happy about that. But Kanye would later be quoted saying backstage, "I was the best new artist this year. I feel like I was definitely robbed, and I refuse to give any political correct bullshit." This is the first of the many incidents that Kanye has had at award shows. It's just gonna get crazier from here, like a lot crazier. Kanye and George Bush, September 2005. Probably one of the most iconic moments to have ever happened in Kanye's history. It is probably one of the funniest yet most embarrassing things that happened to Kanye that he has ever done in the existence of time. In August of 2005, Hurricane Katrina became one of the worst hurricanes in the US. Many cities were flooded, a lot of people lost their lives, and it was reported that it caused over $108 billion in damage. Due to this, many people were probably in the worst place possible, and a lot of them felt the destruction of what happened to them and their loss. And then there's Kanye. On September 2nd, a concert for hurricane relief was set to air on NBC. It was an hour-long event that featured a large number of celebrities, including Mike Myers, Chris Tucker, Leonardo DiCaprio, and most importantly, Kanye West. If you've been a fan of this channel for a really long time, then you know where this is going. During the segment where Kanye and Mike Myers were talking about the devastating effects of Katrina, Kanye decided, you know what? I don't think I want to do that. So he decided to go off script and talk about George Bush. Look, look, I really can't give it any justice. You just gotta watch this. You just have to watch it.
There's now over 25 feet of water where there was once city streets and thriving neighborhoods.
I hate the way they portray us in the media. If you see a black family, it says they're looting. See a white family, it says they're looking for food. If I was down there, and those are my people down there, so anybody out there that wants to do anything that we can help with the setup, the way America is set up to help the poor, the black people,
And subtle, but in even many ways more profoundly devastating, is the lasting damage to the survivors' will to rebuild and remain in the area. The destruction of the spirit of the people of southern Louisiana and Mississippi may end up being the most tragic loss of all.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Please call.
In the past few days,
obviously, this is probably one of the most controversial moments in this man's career, but I really wish it didn't progress from here. Anyways, George Bush would later recall that being one of the most embarrassing moments and one of his lowest parts in his presidency. And if you saw my second video ever, then you would know eventually Kanye West and George Bush would actually be sitting in the same room and have a conversation live on television. And it was just the most awkward thing. And yes, I know I edited my video to be like a different way, so it's actually just completely awkward, but the actual conversation is so awkward. Like, they seriously do look at each other the whole time at the end. Like, it's just awkward silence. I'll leave a link to the original video and then also one that's edited, you know, the one that I made. Kanye compares himself to Jesus. So I saw this one on a list of controversies and I said to myself, I just had to read this out completely, like word for word. This whole entire thing, it just sounds way too crazy and unbelievable, but it's real. It's a real thing. February 2006. It seems that Yeezy, as he named his sixth album, does feel prosecuted. The rapper posed for Rolling Stone with a crowd of thorns and fake blood, claiming that he can make a direct comparison between himself and Jesus. Why? Because he had to fight for recognition and suffers for his success. Not quite the same, and yet he does not feel the same love and devotion. Kanye stated that people look at him like he's Hitler when he walks down the street. Oh god damn it. Ugh. MTV Europe 2006. Kanye does not take no for an answer, and he believes that every award should be given to him. And yeah, I mean, I get that. I get Kanye. I get that moment. I mean, if I ask the bank for $20,000, they should just give me the money and, you know, nothing should happen, right? I should just not be put in handcuffs. That's how it should work, right? That's how a bank works. But Kanye, we can't all have nice things. Anyways, during the 2006 MTV Europe Award, Kanye would be named as Best Hip Hop Artist that year. But apparently that's not what he really wanted. Apparently it was actually for the best video. That's exactly what he wanted. But that video would go to Justice and Simeon for the song We Are Your Friends. Then went Kanye walking on stage, and then suddenly,
hey, if I don't win, the award show loses credibility. I appreciate it, man. You know, it's nothing against you. I've never seen your video. It's nothing against you. But hell no, man. I love y'all. Hey, you should have seen the video, man.
On November 7th, 2006, Kanye would eventually apologize on a concert for U2 that he was supporting in, and in September of 2007, he would spoof the event in Saturday Night Live. 2007 MTV Music Awards. Somebody please just control Kanye. Christ, just control him, said somebody. And that somebody is me, actually, because I made that quote. That was me. That was in 2007 during the Music Awards. My boy Kanye started to have a complete meltdown backstage for two main reasons. One, Kanye wanted to be the one who opened up that show, but instead it was Britney Spears, and he would claim, quote, maybe my skin's not right. And two, Kanye would lose every one of his 5 nominations that night.
Black man a chance, man. MTV. Tell them what the I said. Y'all had these lights, man. 5 nominations. Lost the Black Eyed Peas last year, man. I'm never coming to MTV. Y'all find Britney. Get Britney. Get a real artist. Get Britney.
And would claim that he would never return to MTV. 2009 MTV Music Awards. On September 13, 2009, during the MTV Music Awards, the awards for Best Female Video was given to Taylor Swift for her song You Belong With Me. Kanye thought very differently about this though, and he decided that the best course of action that night was to walk up on stage, make an ass of himself by putting out his thoughts out as usual. And when Taylor was giving out her acceptance speech, Kanye grabbed the mic and he said this.
Yo, Taylor. I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time.
Kanye then walked off stage and was kicked out for the remainder of the show. Beyonce would let Taylor finish her speech when she won Best Video for Single Ladies. So while making this video, I didn't really know how far this timeline went, and I was just thought, oh man, this is just, you know, it's just a small story. There's not, it cannot be that big, but oh my god, it is way more, like way more. So I decided that I'm just gonna like shorten it out. One day after the incident, Kanye would go on Tonight Show with Jay Leno and talk about what happened the night before. Kanye would say, "I immediately knew in the situation that I was wrong and it was spectacle. It was rude." He said that he would also try to take some time off to reflect. Kanye would also say, quote, "So many celebrities, they never take the time off," end quote. And then he said, "I've never taken the time off really. You know, just music after music and tour after tour. I'm just ashamed that my hurt caused somebody else's hurt. My dream of what award shows are supposed to be, cause I don't try to justify it because I was just in the wrong. That's period. But I need to, after this, take some time off and just analyze how I'm gonna make it through the rest of my life, how I'm going to improve," end quote. Yeah. A lot of celebrities would talk about this incident, with most notably Barack Obama saying,
"The young lady seems like a perfectly nice person. She's getting her award. What's he doing up there? Why would he do that? He's a jackass."
After many people moved on from the event and have never forgotten, eventually it would be brought back up on September 15th, 2009, when it was revealed that Taylor Swift and Kanye actually called to apologize. Taylor actually took this apology, which was very professional of her. 4 years later, Kanye would take back this statement and pull a Kanye saying that "I don't have one regret, and if anyone's reading this waiting for some type of full-on flat apology for anything, I just want you to stop reading right now. I have, as a human being, fallen to pure pressure." How's this man real? God. Anyways, 2 years later, after that, this is just getting started, man, because it just keeps going on. But the next few, I'm just gonna have to rapid fire, so let's just keep going. So February 15th, 2015, Kanye and Taylor reunite at the 2015 Grammys. August 2015, Taylor says that she's friends with Kanye. February 6th, 2016, Kanye releases a song named Famous, which features a lyric that mentioned Taylor Swift, and it says,
I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. Why? I made that bitch famous.
Many people took notice of this, and he started claiming that he had gotten permission from Taylor to do it. And apparently in a long 1-hour conversation on the phone, they talked about it. With so much backlash, and with one of Taylor's friends speaking out, on July 16th, 2016, Kim Kardashian said that Taylor knew this whole time that the lyric was going to be on the song. Later that month, Taylor's spokesperson would say, quote, "Taylor does not hold anything against Kim Kardashian, as she recognizes the pressure Kim must be under, and that she is only repeating what she had been told by Kanye West. However, that does not change the fact that much of what Kim is saying is incorrect. Kanye West and Taylor only spoke once on the phone while she was on vacation with her friends in January of 2016, and they have never spoken since. Taylor has never denied that conversation took place. It was on the phone that Kanye West also asked her to release the song on her Twitter account, which she declined to do. But the situation got much bigger when Kanye released his video for Famous. And if you've seen the video, which I cannot show on this YouTube channel because I'll get age restricted, you know, I will get age restricted if I do it, then you know what would happen. But I will describe to you exactly what's in the video. So the video depicts a lot of famous people naked and a one bed asleep. It features George W. Bush, Donald Trump, Rihanna, Chris Brown. They're both right next to each other. Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, Ray J, and Amber Rose, Caitlyn Jenner, Bill Cosby. But the one right next to Kanye would be Taylor Swift, which, wow, interesting choice, Kanye. But I'm just gonna have to leave this all here because it's way too much for one video. It's so much information, so many things that did happen just in this whole entire instance. And a lot of this information is so irrelevant to the video because this is just about controversies. I will say though that their whole call was leaked for everyone to hear. And then, you know, they would eventually make up and whatever, and then not make up and then shit. You already know how drama works. This is just how drama works. So, you know, this one's pretty self-explanatory, but Kanye said that he left because they didn't give it any royalty for the shoes, and then would say that he could only choose to give a portion to charity, which, you know, he should be getting money from it. It also seemed that people that worked at Nike did not understand what this whole entire brand was about and why it existed. It also didn't get any better when the CEO of Nike would not get in the phone with Kanye like ever. And then it came Adidas, which was a company that actually wanted to build something with Kanye, which would prove to be one of his best financial decisions ever. Until, you know. Kanye did say though that he has no hate for the people that worked at Nike. Hey guys, obviously there's a little change in the middle of this. My hair specifically, I got a haircut in the middle of this. Let's keep going. Wheelchair, September 2014. Man, this one just sucks. Like, it's so hard to watch. So while performing at Sydney, Australia, Kanye wanted to hype the whole crowd, even the people who had seats in the stadium, you know, the people that aren't on the floor, you know, the people who didn't pay that expensive price to go down on the floor. Well, Kanye told those people to get up, and he was not joking around. So when one person didn't get up, Kanye was really getting angry, and he said that he would not start singing until everyone got up. He was like, the thing was though, this person could not stand up because they were in a wheelchair. He didn't realize this fact, and he waited for this person to get up and waited and waited, and then the crowd started booing at him. Then eventually Kanye was like, okay, you know what, you don't have to stand up for this.
Who left that don't want to stand up? This is the longest I've had to wait to do the song. It's unbelievable. Now, if he is in a wheelchair, then it's fine. And is he in a wheelchair there? Only if he's in a wheelchair. You say it's cool, it's a wheelchair? You got the... Okay.
Beck and West face off. On February 8th, 2015, during the 57th Annual Grammy Award, Beck and Beyonce were head-to-head in a battle of who would win this year's Grammy for Album of the Year. They would fight to the death, but only one would come on top. Beck struck first, with nearly hitting Beyonce straight in the face. And then Beyonce did the same, but this would go on for like 2 minutes, and eventually they would get really tired until Beck finally struck and hit Beyonce, making him the winner. He walked on stage with a very proud strut that no other man could do. Kanye noticed this. He knew that since 2009, Beyonce deserved every single award that has ever existed. So Kanye does what Kanye does best. He starts to walk right towards Beck to the stage. At this point, Beck was about to start talking as he was getting to the microphone, but then Kanye, suddenly, you see him. The light, the beacon, Kanye. He's moving fast, but his mind is racing faster. He started to calculate his next move. He started to think, should I talk on the mic and make this all about myself? Or should he sit down in an equally but not as embarrassing move? Kanye talked to himself in the third person and decided, you know what? Maybe this would be embarrassing, so let's just go back. However, Beck saw this in a very different light, and he said,
I need some help. Come back.
But Kanye did not come back. He stopped himself because of Beck's family. Either way, Beck got to do his speech and was able to talk to People magazine and would say this.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow, I mean, beating out Beyonce, Pharrell, Sam Smith. What?
How did that happen? What?
What did you, like when you heard your name, I mean, was it one of those just really proud moments?
It's like the cliche if you were in a movie and somehow, or you're having a dream and your name is inserted, you know, it seemed very out of place.
No, you had
and strange, yeah.
big night. Lots of wins.
Thank
so
you.
happy for
Thank you.
What were you thinking though when Kanye started approaching the stage?
I was excited. I was disappointed that he walked away. It was a tease. I said, come on.
Right.
I want a Kanye moment here.
Let's have this moment.
Apparently people said it wasn't on, the cameras didn't catch it, so I don't know.
No, I
Saw it.
think it was definitely caught on film.
Oh, it was? Okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah. So hopefully.
Yeah, that was, yeah. I wish he'd stayed.
Kanye wasn't so happy though, and this is exactly what he had to say about the whole thing.
So that the Grammys, if they want real artists to keep coming back, they need to stop playing with us. And Beck needs to respect artistry.
But on the 16th of that month, he would go on Twitter and apologize to Beck, saying, "I would like to publicly apologize to Beck. I'm sorry, Beck. Many people have stopped supporting Kanye for the things that he have said, but I think that you should support the sponsor of this channel, W. W is an energy drink founded in 2021. They're clean energy drinks that give you focus, have no jitters or angst like all the other energy drinking companies. W also contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine, and it's also sugar-free. All their drinks are made here in the US and are FDA inspected. Since I partnered with W, they decided to give you a 10% discount on all your orders. So use code Ricarsso to get 10% off. Or you can click the link in the description. By helping W, you are also supporting me and supporting my efforts as a content creator and making videos every single week. So thanks to W for being our first channel sponsor and for also sponsoring this video. Kanye's VMA videos Vangaurd speech. I don't have much to say about this. I'll leave a transcript of what happened during this event down in the description, like the whole thing, but there's only two important things to know that were kind of controversial and people were talking about extensively. One of them was that Kanye was like,
Y'all might be thinking right now, I wonder, did he smoke something before he came out here? The answer is yes, I rolled up a little something. I knocked the edge off.
But the most important thing that happened during this event was the fact that Kanye announced that he was going to run for president in 2020. He wasn't lying.
And yes, as you probably could have guessed by this moment, I have decided in 2020 to run for president.
2016 MTV Music Awards. Finally, we are done talking about music awards. I know it's crazy to think about the amount of times that Kanye has had incidents in these music awards. I'm so sorry that we had to talk about them all, but it's very important for the lore. But this is the last one, I think. Do not quote me on that. I think it's the last one. I also think it's pretty funny that people are trying to petition Kanye from not attending any like award shows that are just happening, you know, like that's really funny. So in 2016, Kanye West was given 4 minutes to do literally anything he wanted to at this award show. So he decided to show a couple of things during this award show, from his music video for Fade to talking about Taylor Swift, his love of Beyonce, Steve Jobs, Donald Trump, and others. I will also leave a full transcript of the whole thing down in the description that you can go read if you want to, but a lot of it is very controversial. Kanye West's feud with Wiz Khalifa in 2016. It all started in the man's head. So in 2016, before the album Life of Pablo was even called Life of Pablo, it was called So Help Me God. Kanye then thought, damn, that shit is ass. But then he was like, you know what, let's call it Swish. And then he was like, never mind, let's call it Waves. Believe it or not, this is actually how the whole thing started. Like, it was just about this. So at the start of the year, in January 26, 2016, Wiz Khalifa tweeted this out: "Just so you know what true waves are." Kanye then responded, "All respect to the producer Andre Harrell and Max B," with Wiz responding, "Yeah, alright." He would later say, "Hit this KK and become yourself." Kanye then was like, huh, what do you mean by that? He was just trying to read that message clearly. He spent time analyzing it. He was just like, what does this mean? What could this possibly mean? He said, what a sick joke! He thought that Wiz Khalifa was talking about Kim Kardashian, but was in fact talking about Khalifa Kush, his brand. Kanye was like, alright guys, I'm gonna go on a little tangent. I'm a little angry right now. Here's a steady stream of all the tweets. I'm not gonna read out all these tweets. There's so many. Just fast. Look at this. After Kanye said what he said, he realized, man, maybe I made a tiny mistake, and he decided to delete all these tweets. But the damage had already been done, and everyone had already seen what he had said. Along with Kanye's ex, Amber Rose, who said, oh my god, here's my favorite ones. Oh, this is my favorite one. Oh, this is so funny. Oh god. I'm just gonna, okay. So she said, aw, at Kanye West, are you mad I'm not around to play in your asshole anymore? Hashtag fingering the booty ass bitch. And then Kanye was like, alright, enough of this. He was like, exes can be mad, but just know I never let them play with my ass. I don't do that. I stay away from that area altogether. That's the funniest tweet I've ever seen in my life. Obviously, Kanye would later apologize to Wiz, and he would also plead to him by saying, positive energy, blessings, blessings, positive energy, blessings. Kanye said Bill Cosby was innocent on Twitter. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. 2016 was a wild year for Kanye. I swear to God, he did a lot of things in this year. I do want to say that this was before the guilty verdict. Like, we didn't know what was going to happen, but there was, you know, a lot of stuff that was happening. So Kanye was just going to very, you know, strong and very bad territory, but he still did it. But you know, Kanye being Kanye, he was at 0.000000001% of the people who thought he was innocent, which anyways, Kanye would release Life of Pablo with Bill Cosby being mentioned in one of the tracks, which was named Facts, which featured a part where he would say that he felt bad for Bill Cosby. Kanye would also later tweet out, Bill Cosby is innocent! Yeah. $53 million in debt. So, not very controversial, but also kind of strange in a sort of controversial way that this sort of very popular rapper just out of nowhere is like, guys, I'm in debt. You know, that's a strange thing to hear. A lot of people found it strange that Kanye would go on Twitter. Here's the thing, like, Kanye and Twitter are just like two things where he's like, I mean, he's got a vocal opinion, right? He can do whatever he wants on Twitter. Kanye and Twitter, you know, they don't mix up, but, you know, we've seen some crazy stuff. And here's some more crazy stuff. So in February of 2016, Kanye would tweet out, I write this to you, my brother, while still $53 million in personal debt. Please pray we overcome. This is my true heart. And then he would say, Mark Zuckerberg, invest $1 billion into Kanye West ideas. After realizing he is the greatest living artist and greatest artist of all time. Also, for anyone that has money, they know the first rule is to use other people's money. If I spent money on my ideas, I could not afford to take care of my family. I'm in a place that so many artists end up. But I need access to more money in order to bring more beautiful ideas to this world. Yes, I am personally rich and I can buy furs and houses for my family. I want to help the world, and I need help to do it. I am an artist, and I care about humanity. I just feel rich people are always too cool to ask for help, trying to impress each other at dinner parties. He also asked all his fans to download Tidal so you could stream Life of Pablo because they were having an exclusive thing. You know, I think it's kind of crazy that one of the most known rappers just ends up broke out of nowhere like that. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Just look at Nicolas Cage. You know, he's an actor with tons of roles and tons of famous movies, and out of the bloom, he's just bankrupt. But we all know that Kanye would do that partnership with Adidas and all this other stuff, and eventually he would be actually one of the most rich rappers of all time. And then many people who would eventually report his net worth, they would say that he would have $6.6 billion, which is, you know, a lot of money, but apparently that's not the actual number. The actual number was 1.8 billion, which is still a lot. Yeezy season 4 fashion show disaster. So let me give you a little rundown of what exactly went wrong with this event. On September 7th, 2016, Kanye would host his fashion show in New York. The event's problems would begin even before the event started, because it started 2 hours late. But when it started, it got worse because it looked like the models started fainting or they were about to faint. And it got even worse because it turns out that the models could barely walk in some of the shoes, and one of them actually took them off midway through. It seems like this day was just way too hot to do this, and a lot of the models were just handed water bottles, and some of them even just sat down. For many, this show was just super boring and there was really no reason to watch it other than, you know, if you're a huge fan, but apparently it was just too boring. After this event was over, Kanye got so angry he fired literally everyone that worked on the event. And he also would get rid of his phone so people could only contact him on email. What a champ. What a champ, guys. Kanye ends the Saint to Pablo tour early. On August 25th, Kanye would commence the Saints to Pablo tour in support for the album The Life of Pablo. The tour was supposed to last until December 31st, 2016. However, when Kanye went to perform in Sacramento on November 19th, Kanye pulled a Kanye and ruined fans' days. While at the concert, Kanye would perform 3 songs and do a 17-minute monologue and then just leave. A lot of people were just confused by the whole event. Like, why did Kanye just go on this whole entire rant? And what the heck was the deal with the whole entire rant? I mean, he started talking about how rigged the award shows were, which sounds like the type of thing he would do. He would also make a lot of comments about Jay-Z dodging phone calls. Also would talk about how Beyonce would just not perform with him. He would also talk about a lot of famous figures like Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Donald Trump. However, it's important to know that 2 days prior, Kanye would talk about how if he voted, he would have voted for Trump. His show in Los Angeles would be canceled the following night, hours before, and on Monday, the whole tour was just canceled. However, the reason for the cancellation is a lot bigger than it seems. A few hours after it canceled on Monday, a call would be made on Kanye for a welfare check at around 1:20 p.m. At this time, Kanye was at his trainer's house and was reportedly acting erratically, and the call described it as a medical emergency, and it was handed to the fire department as it was described as a psychiatric emergency. By the time that the medics arrived, Kanye had become a lot more chill, but resisted to go to the hospital, but was convinced to go. Later, when his trainer left his house, he was questioned on what happened to Kanye, but would give zero comments. US Today reported that Kanye was being treated in the hospital for exhaustion, but it was much bigger than that. Kanye would spend Thanksgiving in the hospital and wouldn't be released until November 30th, 2016. In 2018, Kanye would talk about this incident in a TMZ interview that will be later down in this video. He would talk about this incident and say that he was going through an opioid addiction. Trump Tower meetup. On December 13th, Mr. West went to talk with Donald Trump. After a 30-minute meeting, Kanye and Trump would show up in pictures and pose together. Kanye would later say on Twitter, "I wanted to meet with Trump today to discuss multicultural concerns. These issues included bullying, supporting teachers, modernizing curriculums, and violence in Chicago. I feel it is important to have a direct line of communication with our future president if we truly want change." Trump would later refer Kanye as a good man and would later call him a friend. West TMZ interview, May 1st, 2018. So everything so far that we've talked about has been kind of crazy, you know, just normal crazy Kanye stuff, mostly normal Kanye crazy stuff. But things are about to start getting haywire, like off the charts crazy, off the most, unusual, but it's sort of in the realm of, oh my gosh, did he just say that? But here we go. Starting with this, obviously. So during the TMZ interview, he would talk about a lot of things like his love for Trump. He would also talk about free thought and how it would make the world a better place, which also featured Kaden Owens at some point. However, she will come later in this video. You'll see where she comes in. But one of the most notable things that happened during this interview was the quote that you're about to see.
When you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice. You was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all? It's like we're mentally in prison.
Oh, Kanye, come on. Sometime after this all happened, one of the TMZ employees would come up and start talking.
Do you feel that I'm being free and I'm thinking free?
I actually don't think you're thinking anything.
You're entitled to your opinion, but there is fact and real world, real life consequence behind everything that you just said. The rest of us in society have to deal with these threats to our lives. We have to deal with the marginalization that has come from the 400 years of slavery that you said for our people was a choice. Frankly, I'm disappointed, I'm appalled, and brother, I am unbelievably hurt by the fact that you have morphed into something, to me, that's not real.
So then Kanye would go on Twitter later and he would just try to make this situation a whole lot better, saying all these things. To make myself clear, of course I know that slaves did not get shackled and put on a boat by free will. Once again, I'm being attacked for presenting new ideas. The reason why I brought up the 400-year point is because we can't be mentally impaired for another 400 years. We need free thought now. Even the statement was an example of free thought. It was just an idea. We are programmed to always talk and fight race issues. We need to update our conversation. The universe has a plan. I knew that TMZ would be awesome. If this was 148 years ago, I would have been more like Harriet or Nat. The Nat Turner movie never made it anywhere because it shows slaves revolting. I understand why my god brother Puff called his network Revolt. A hashtag if slavery was a choice would start trending. So in this situation also a lot of artists and people would just start talking about this and just being so disappointed in Kanye for what he said. Kanye has since deleted all his tweets. The SNL Speech. On September 29, 2018, it was like any other day. SNL was on and Kanye was set to perform a couple of songs. This night was the season premiere for SNL. Everything was good and everyone was having a good time. But Kanye had a thought. He thought everything was not political enough. After the show was over, in a quick turn of events, Kanye would tell everyone to get up on stage to come with him. At this point, he was already wearing his Make America Great Again hat. Many people apparently bullied Kanye backstage and would say not to wear the hat, but he did it anyways. In the speech, he would talk about Trump and him running in 2020. Here are some highlights of that event.
They laughing at me. You heard them, they scream at me. They bully me. They bullied me backstage. They said, don't go out there with that hat on. They bullied me backstage. They bullied me. And then they say I'm in a sunken place. You want to see the sunken place? Okay, I'm going to listen to y'all now. Or I'm going to put my Superman cape on. Follow your heart and stop following your mind. That's how we're controlled. That's how we're programmed. If you want the world to move forward, try love. Thank y'all for giving me this platform. I know some of y'all don't agree, but y'all be going at that man neck a lot, and I don't think it's actually that helpful. I think the universe has balance. 90% of news are liberal. I love me too.
Midway through the speech, or like the majority of the whole speech, was just cut off and would not be broadcasted live on air. But the thing is weird because I watched a lot of videos and a lot of them showed like sort of a video feed of the actual event, which is, what is it? What is it? Because apparently, which one is it? which one is it? But that didn't stop many websites from reporting on this event. A lot of people were praising Kanye for what he did, and a lot of people were not. Kenan Thompson would go on Late Night with Seth Meyers show, and he would talk about Kanye. He would talk about that night and said that Kanye took those people hostage. Donald Trump would also tweet out this about the whole event. Like many, I don't watch Saturday Night Live, even though I past hosted it. No longer funny, no talent or charm. It is just a political ad for the Dems. Word is that Kanye put on a MAGA hat after the show, despite being told no. He's leading the charge. After the event, Kanye would go on Twitter and would write this. This represents good and America becoming whole again. We will no longer outsource to other countries. We build factories here in America to create jobs. We will provide jobs for all who are free from prisons as we abolish the 13th Amendment. Message sent with love. So for those who never paid attention during history class, the 13th Amendment is the one that abolished slavery. A lot of people took this as Kanye saying, you know, they should put slavery again in the US. And Kanye was like, no. So Kanye would tweet, the 13th Amendment is slavery in disguise, meaning it never ended. We are the solution that heals. Not abolish, but let's amend the 13th Amendment. We apply everyone's opinion to our platform. Yeezy come, Yeezy go. Well, that's all I have for you today. I know that I didn't talk about as much as I was supposed to. There's a lot more that goes in the Kanye lore, but I could not fit it into one video, specifically because of what was going on in my life at this time. I've been trying really hard to get all this compiled, but I really want to work on other stuff, and the videos will be coming soon. I do want to go back to a whole entire weekly schedule because I think that was very, very fun. There was a lot of stuff that I was able to do, and I think that would also be great for y'all. And I do want to make the same sort of content that you guys want to watch, because there's a ton of ideas that I've wanted to put out there. So Kanye, I still am going to do it, but it's still going to take a while. So I apologize for that. So yeah, I have a ton of plans this year, so you should stick around and subscribe for life, but only if you really want to. But I really just want to thank y'all so much for sticking around for all this whole entire time, and all those people that joined and decided to subscribe for life recently without me uploading for 2 months. Christ, I am so sorry. I've tried so hard to get this all done, but I literally cannot sometimes. But I am going to try my best now, and it's just patience is key. Part 2 will not take as long, hopefully, or who knows. We'll see. It's gonna be a over an hour-long video compared to this. It's a lot more. So yeah. But yes, this has been a real ride, and it's always been just so great. And I can only thank y'all. So this was Ricarsso. Please say the name right, goddammit. And as your favorite creator, I say to you, thank you for being there. And bring back the intro.
Hey, good morning, Kanye.
Shut the fuck